I'm going to kick it off like this. Well, hello, everybody. Liz here with Club Ichi, and I am so excited to be running our 7-minute demos. This is the first time that we've offered this, and this has come out of me just wanting to do demos of all of the tools and platforms that exist out there. I was like, you know what? Why don't we do the super high level, really fun? Let's just find out what these tools are for, what they can do, and then ask a little Q&A and then be like a sampler pack for the folks that want to join. So those of you who are live with us, insiders are here on here. I am going to open up my chat. So if you want to ask questions while the demo is going on, feel free to flood the chat with them. We're going to have 7 minutes for me to see the technology and 3 minutes for me to get as many of your questions answered as I can, or I'm just going to ask my questions. We're going to keep it tight, and this is going to be amazing. And Seth, are you ready to go first?
I am ready.
Amazing. All right, everybody. This is Seth with their app. And Seth, tell me what your app is.
Yeah. So I have experience personally in managing on-site activities. I've been a corporate marketer, so I've kind of run trade show presences and organizing advisory board meetings and other activities like that, and felt like the way our teams are coordinated gets spread across too many environments, or we have people who join us on the road that we're not used to working with yet, and it takes too long to onboard them. So we're an environment for all the teamwork that happens around location-based projects, accessing calendar, sharing files, communicating with teammates, and location-specific features, including abilities to see where each other is live for when that's important.
Amazing. Well, let's see this thing.
All right, cool. I am making that switch, which I trust happened.
Yep, it happened.
Okay, great. So I'm logged in here as a demo account that we set up, and these are a bunch of sort of sample projects. In fact, this one down on the bottom was me and some college friends getting together in Texas a couple weeks ago. I'm going to jump into this one, which is an example of a company exhibiting at a trade show. It's actually data based on a presence in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress that I managed. And these are our modules you see on our dropdown. Some of them basically speak for themselves. Like I said, file sharing, task assignment. Right now we're in the events one, which is actually the calendar. So here's all of our appointments, and it's pretty familiar and straightforward organization of the data as relates to a particular appointment. Because we're for on-location project, we try to highlight the value in that regard. So I see all my appointments on the map as well. If I tap on one, I see those same data. I can click for navigation. I can actually navigate from one place in my project to another. If I were to click there, it would hand it off to Google Maps, but in the interest of 7 minutes, I'll keep moving. Here's the files module. You can put in URLs for cloud documents. You can upload files directly, and they're visible and accessible within the environment. Task assignment, again, very straightforward. Like in events, if there's location data related to a task, that's going to be accessible either from the map or obviously from the list, or I can click through to see more information about a particular task. And you may notice as I click around that the way these things are organized and presented is pretty consistent, and that lets us be pretty fluid with how they're used. So if I go into chats, for example, and I look at this chat, I think. Yeah, so here people are chatting with text, but also like embedding items from the different modules. So here's a couple of files from the file module. Here's a task from the task module. So while I'm writing my chat, if I want to incorporate something from one of the other modules, I click plus and I'll pick a place, and it's not really a restaurant. I'll pick this hotel, and now submitted in the chat thread. And that same sort of kind of fluidity across our modules is in another module we built recently called boards. So this is like a bulletin board, like a project front page, and it lets you put in formatted text and banner images, but also again integrate items from our different modules. So if we need a front page, instead of people hunting around the whole project, they're like, okay, here's Katie from the team module. She's the point of contact. Here's the venue from the places module. That's where we need to get to. So you have like a front page that brings together all these elements with ability for layout. Because we're for produced project involvement, we try to give you some design capacity. You can upload a logo, pick a theme color. And I'll just close with the location sharing feature. So again, I'm logged in as demo. And actually, I was doing this like while Liz was setting me up. So Seth, I'm logged in as Seth on my phone, and Seth is sharing his location with demo right now. So that's me where I'm doing this webinar from. If demo needs to access Seth, again, he can click him on the map. He can chat with him within the environment, or phone him or email him as he wishes. If Seth decides that he needs some privacy, he can pause his location sharing and disappear from the map. So again, like it's a single resource for all the ways teams have to access project information, be in touch live with each other, and track their execution while working on projects in the field, specifically really focused on meetings, conferences, events, and offsites.
Wow. Okay, you did that in 5 minutes, not seven. That's amazing. So I have time for questions. So question number one, can you send push messages to all of your team through this app?
I am going to confirm that live. Well, you can. Oh, no, you can. Yeah. So I can click add entire team. And now I started to chat with all my team members. If I realize, I want them all except for John, I can unclick them there and then start it. So, yes.
And so how does that notification, is that like the little red one type of thing that they see?
So we do a push notification. If you're looking at the app, you'll get a blue banner on the bottom of the screen. If you're not looking at the app, you'll get a notification within, your phone. It is an iOS and Android app, but it's also a web app. You're actually looking at it like the way it looks as a mobile app, but in my web browser. So if you're using it just web without installing, then we'll push a notification to you by email. And yeah, like when you come into the app, you'll see, which module has a pending item for your attention, whether it's a task or a chat and so forth.
This is amazing. Okay, so when you first started building this, was the idea that you're on site at a trade show and you're getting your entire team, or you're running a conference and it's for all of your staff? Or what was the initial reason?
I mean, it's for the team that has to collaborate. I guess, like relating it to my personal experiences again, like especially in a lot of the marketing communications roles I've held, it's often a hybrid of colleagues and contractors or other sort of on the fly help. And I mean, if it's just colleagues, we may all be in our enterprise chat environment. It's not quite as on rails and project oriented as what you're looking at, but it's at least where we know to get in touch with each other. But yeah, like definitely like fast onboarding and incorporation of customers, partners, vendors, and other people collaborating with the team for the scope of that project's always been important. Like, what's the team that has to be coordinated while on site?
Question, are there integrations and APIs with other apps? Like if the marketing ops teams uses Jira or Confluence, can you link certain tasks and deadlines?
Well, you absolutely can through, we have a web module, which I didn't really dwell on, but you can put in a URL that can be the front door to whatever your collaborative environment is. So basically that can be, accessed through us. Degrees of integration are kind of on the rise, basically. Like we have it really great in our files module. If you have files in Dropbox or SharePoint or Google Drive or anywhere else, those URLs go right into our files module. It will extend to things, like Asana and Jira type apps as well. But yeah, at the moment, you can at least put in the link for the group to access it, from the same resource.
Awesome. And then tell me about the location thing. So if I'm at Mobile World Congress and I sent Sandy out to get bagels for everyone, but I don't know where Sandy is, but she's turned it on, I can just see that here.
Yeah, essentially the scenario is, yeah, I mean, location shares are, again, like with consideration for the fact that this is for professional projects and people want to value their privacy, you can only open a location share for a time window, and that time window is 7 days max. And while it's up, you can, pause it in real time as well. The fidelity is basically the same as Google Maps. So depending on the venue and such, but like it's generally like pretty accurate to like a 5 or 10 foot radius.
That's amazing. And then can you do automated things with Zap? Can you create a Zap if you wanted to go create tasks in other things?
Did you just say something about Zaps?
Yeah, Zapier.
Like Zapier? Uh, Honestly, I haven't really put my toe in that water yet.
No worries, that's cool. And then another question, clients are using Slack at events more and more. What sets this apart?
So yeah, a few things. One is the fact that again, like it's got the context of a project, right? So Slack's motif is obviously a chat thread, and while it has some incorporation of links and files and other things, they're not organized in such a way. And we're really, because we're for location-based projects, we put a big emphasis on quick, clear navigation and access to just the info you need, not putting too much on screen, and supporting the on-location work circumstance. Like one liability of Slack is you go in there to look up something related to your project, and you see somebody's baby pictures, or some other project that's not the one you're on site for. So with us, you're always within the particular project. Your focus is on that. And again, like we have lightweight ways to get you what you need. It's got this balance across emphasis on files or on tasks or on calendar alongside chat without being like principally a chat motif. It's a little bit more production oriented, like with some of like the design polish we put into it to be consistent with high quality event production. And it's generally, kind of a quicker, more accessible environment for those outside parties you want involved, as opposed to your colleagues, who are together in Slack all the time.
I love it. Okay, and so final, are you, is this ready to be downloaded? Is it purchasable? What is the current status of this?
It is entirely accessible. So you can find it in the Android Play Store and in the App Store, or go to beta.there.app from a browser. It is a pre-commercial product, and we're running a launch partner program. So that, you can see that on our website. If you go to there.app, you'll see on top, you can click the link to see what our launch partner program is. But basically, we'd like to work with you on a project. We'll do several dozen of these, like to close out this year and into the first parts of next year. And if we work with you on a live on location project, meaning we just, kind of help employ best practices and get some perspective on your use so we can best advance the product going forward, and then consult with you a little bit afterwards. There's some upside for you, including some extended period of free use when the product does go commercial during 2025.
Amazing.
Please
Seth,
reach
you
out
were
to
the
us
first
directly to talk
ever
about
7-minute demo. This was incredible. You killed it. Thank you for playing our game.
All right. Thank you. Very flattered.
I'm still trying to find my way without you, but it's hard to leave the past.